This is the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa. Internet world, West Alabama. How we doing today on this rainy Monday morning? This is the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com. You're watching us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon. You're listening to us on the BamaCentral YouTube channel, at my social media machines, Joe Gaither 6. We're going to have a lot of fun in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios today with Hunter Brantley. We are bringing somebody. What we're doing today is we're illustrating what happens if you leave a good voicemail. If you leave good voicemails, you might become a co-host for the day. We are missing Theo Fernandez. And
could become a regular too.
Yeah, it could.
You never know. You never know what can happen.
Gonna have to keep it going. Absolutely. This is what have you done for me lately, society. So keep calling, keep being our friend. We're here with Hunter Brantley. Let's set this bad boy up. Theo is out. Theo is on spring break. Theo decided to go chase honeys on the beach instead of talk to you and me. So very, very disappointing. Theo
is in Panama, actually.
Oh, actually, he did say that. He said his family lives down there, so he's going to enjoy some family time in Panama.
"Quote unquote" family time.
Right, family time with some good views, with some warm weather. Oh, Theo, we're really missing you today. We'll say that. We're here in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios, live off of McFarland Boulevard. You can call Derek and his team, 205-758-3391, for all of your insurance needs: home, life, auto insurance, renter's insurance, boater's insurance, really anything in the insurance realm. Derek Daniel and his team can take care of you. 205-758-3391. Hunter, you got an apartment in this town, don't you?
I do not. Not yet. But
you don't live here?
I live with my...
yes, you're a Tuscaloosa native. I always forget that.
Now. You graduated, and now I'm just a local resident.
But you're a Tuscaloosa native. You're ACA, right?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Patriot pride.
Right. No reason for you to have renter's insurance because you're still under the umbrella of mom and dad. But when you get an apartment, make sure you call Derek for your renter's insurance, because these skeezy landlords all want to get one over on you. Make sure you have your own renter's insurance, Hunter. 205-758-3391.
Flash this right here. Call Derek Daniels.
That's exactly.
I don't know what the other gesture that is. I think it's call God. I think that's what Janai Room and all them do.
Call God.
Call Derek Daniels.
Call Derek Daniel or God. But both would be
both are good.
Beneficial calls.
This is the symbol for God. Pray to Him.
That's right. We're here in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios with Hunter Brantley. You follow Hunter Brantley at Hunter Brantley 8 on the Twitter machine. Hunter Brantley was with myself at Tide 100.9. He currently works for WVUA 23, shooting all kinds of news and sports right here in Tuscaloosa for our friend Gary Harris. Shout out you, Gary. Hope you're having a good day. Gary about to go on the radio.
9 local.
We're not promoting his show. We're just saying good luck. I'm just saying good luck. We like Gary. I'm just teasing. We love you, Gary. He has me on his show. We'll do Home and Homes. Gary, you can listen to him at 9 a.m., 9 to 11 on 100.9. What in the world are we going to do, Hunter? I got how many voicemails? Like 5? I got like 4, 5, 6 voicemails. You can call, leave us a voicemail, 205-462-7340, extension 800. You do not have Hunter Brantley's beautiful voice on the voicemail machine, but I do think Theo Fernandez called from the beach. So we'll hear from Theo. We'll hear, I think, Roy from Lake Gunnersville. I believe we got Robert from Brookwood, absolutely on the phone line. Dax, of course. Dax with a halftime call and a postgame call. Love. Dax, no, look.
That's what we want.
You all know how to use the voicemail line, but Dax is using it excellently, perfectly. The origination of this, Hunter, was a Bears podcast where they had a voicemail line, and my Bears fans friends would call it in the first quarter. Jay Cutler is, Matt Forte fumbled again. Reaction.
Williams.
Well, yeah. Well, we're not disappointed. We're not disappointed in Caleb yet. Caleb gets the rookie pass. But essentially, the voicemail line on their show acted like a replay of the game. as you heard the Bears fans crying over all the terrible play, bad coaching decisions, bad play, whatever. So that was the origination. And Dax, you are using it perfectly, calling it at halftime, giving us the halftime reaction, and then calling it after the game with your thoughts. So we'll hear all the voicemails, 205-462-7340, extension 800. If you want to leave us a voicemail, the voicemail line is always open. I had a friend, Hunter, say, do you want me to call the voicemail line right now or later?
Call it whenever you feel like.
Exactly.
Don't wait around for a time or a place. Call it right then whenever you're feeling it, when you're ever feeling dangerous, as Baker Mayfield used to say.
That's exactly right. When you feel like you got something to say, dial up 205-462-7340, extension 800, and we will get you on the program.
It's a safe place. Let it all out. Whatever you're feeling, all emotions will take it all.
The only rule is the cursing rule. I think, where's my sensor? Don't I have a sensor beep on here? I found it the last time, and then I lost it. That's all right. Whatever. We're not going to worry about that.
No foul language, though.
That's the only rule. That's the only rule. All right, let's Mason, Hunter, Theo, Mason,
all the same.
Oh goodness gracious! How you like the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios? You've been calling, you've been watching. What do you think? It is kind of a corner of the room. We won't front on anyone.
It is, but I mean, I like it. I like it pretty good. You got to make hay with what you have at this point.
You know what the best part about this room, Hunter Brantley?
What's that?
This sexy piece right here. This piece that's holding us all together. This fabulous piece of equipment that's making us sound really good. When I have the sound dialed in right, the podcast sounds good. When I don't, it doesn't sound
10
good.
out of 10. But not, it's kind of...
This fancy piece of equipment is amazing, and we love it. Hunter, I watched the second half of this past Alabama game. Okay, well, let's back up just a little bit. Friday, I predicted Alabama to have a 12-point loss. Mason Woods had Alabama with a 20-point loss.
That's what I had too. 15, 20 points loss.
So somewhere in that neighborhood. What in the world? Let's go right there. We're going to basketball. We're inviting your comments at Joe Gaither 6. We're inviting your voicemails on the voicemail line, 205-462-7340, extension 800. We're going to basketball. 93-91. Alabama beats the Auburn Tigers and gets the towels rained down on them. Classy bunch over on the plains. 93-91, the floater. Father, stretch my hand. Mark Sears comes around with the runner and just sent. I am on the interstate driving back from a family funeral. Love you, Mom, very much. Don't pray for me, pray for Mom. Driving back, and the phone is on my dashboard, and I'm sitting there. Okay, it's the last possession. I remember what happened the last time Alabama had the last possession of the half. Dribble into nothing. Mark Sears fumble into, okay, maybe he was fouled. But ultimately, no shot at the end of the first half. You remember this, Hunter?
Yes.
Dribbled out. No shot at the end of the first half.
And I'm thinking, the year before, too, with K.D. Johnson. It's just like, shoot the ball. Shoot it.
Could we not have any action?
Please.
Can we not have any action? Get into the action at 6 and roll the shot at 2.5.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it at like 10.
So what happens in overtime? Oh, they pull it in for the baseline. What, 8 or so? 8 seconds left.
I think they got it across at like 12. They dribbled there. LeBaron's taking his time at the logo, and then there they go at 8.
I'm trying to replay the Chris Stewart call in my head. I think LeBaron at 6. He gives it to Mark at 5.
He drives in the lane at 3. The floater, good. It's game. Game over.
Oh my goodness. So the team is learning lessons. This is evident. And maybe we should have taken a step back last week, Hunter. Because last week, after the Tennessee loss, after 2 weeks ago, after the Missouri, you lost what? 4.
You lost 4 of your last 6, right? 3 of them.
3 of the 7 games. Yeah, three of the 7 games, right? Missouri, Tennessee, Florida. You beat Auburn. You help me out. You click that button right there and go to the last several games at the very bottom. You beat Auburn. You bounce back. Yeah, there you go. Right in the mic, and you got it.
Yeah. Auburn. You lost to Auburn, Missouri, Tennessee, Florida, and then you beat Auburn obviously on Saturday.
Yes, thank you.
So 1, 2,
so
3,
4 of the
5,
7.
6, yeah.
You lost 4 of the 7. You beat Auburn. You beat Kentucky,
and Mississippi State.
There you go.
Two okay teams.
So before this Auburn game, I was sitting here thinking, okay, this team is out of gas, and the only way to get this team back engaged is to, maybe tank the Auburn game. Obviously you're not going to tank it, but
rest some guys if they're hurt, they're banged up.
You're hearing
like
the Grant Nelson,
Cliff, because he was dealing with a shin injury. He had a wrist injury earlier in the year around December. I saw he had a brace on or whatever, but I mean, you're just playing with house money at this point. I think you ain't got to play anyone. I feel like, you can experiment. You can mess around with some rotations. Maybe not run drop coverage every time when there's a ball screen to start off with. And I thought they did a great job of that on Saturday. It seemed like, other than Pettiford, who you gave too much space to, but everybody else was held in check for the most part. Guys are going to get hot like Kelly and Denver Jones, but for the most part, I thought the defense on the drop coverage was way better. The best it's been all year, in my opinion.
What's the coaching point, Hunter? Because, I grew up playing help line defense, playing hedge the screen, help. I never I don't have any sort of background in drop coverage. All my background is hedge the screen, play help line defense,
or blitz it.
Old school, like very high school, very elementary defense. What is the coaching? Why is it just we hope you take that 18-footer? We hope you take that 17-footer.
We hope you take the shot right inside the 3-point line. But it doesn't really help when Cliff's just standing in the paint like he was against Florida when you have Walter Clayton, who's one of the best shooters in the country, pulling up from three. That's practically a layup for him at that point.
You're giving too much space.
Exactly. But I thought they did a great job against Auburn, other than Pettiford in the first half. I think he had 4 threes, which is not what you want. It's not really ideal, but I don't understand the whole dynamic of let's play drop coverage and just dare these guys to shoot who are really good shooters. I just don't understand that for the life of me. But I thought we adjusted really well to that. And like I said, you give up some shots. They make tough shots. They're the number 1 team in the country for a reason. But I thought that the defense as a whole, we played more physical than we have all year long. We were more aggressive and we were way tougher than we have been. So that's a good sign going forward.
Yes.
Because another thing against Florida, we are all getting pushed under the rim, especially Cliff, who's the biggest person on the team, and you're getting pushed around like you're 6'3".
Let's pause here. Let's pause right here, because you've called before on the voicemail line, and Mason will have to tell to address this as well, and I guess I do this as well. The last 2 weeks we've been wondering, is Cliff worth that money?
That's what I'm saying.
And he goes 7 of 7. He goes 8 rebounds.
8 points, 7 rebounds, right?
15 points,
15
brother.
points. 15.
7 of 7. Basically all dunks. Was it all dunks on the stat sheet? What does it say here? Good layup. Okay, good layup, good free throw, and then the rest of these: good layup, good dunk, good dunk, good dunk. Good jumper. 2 good jumpers on this, according to the stat broadcast. All this to say, my biggest issue with this team, Hunter, has been: will the team respect winning? Will the team play hard for 40 minutes? Will the team play tough? Will the team, you just laid it out there on Wednesday night. Florida punked them.
They did.
Florida said, we're going to be tougher than you. Our toe is on the line, and we're not backing up. And
we're going to put our foot on your throat, and you're not going to do anything about it. Yeah. We didn't do anything about it. We just let them do whatever they wanted.
And that's been my biggest. You're going to run into several teams like that in March Madness. Teams that don't have any skill but just want to beat you up. Now, Florida has skill. Florida has a lot of skill. A lot of skill, big guys too. And that's kind of the problem. I think that was the outlier more so than we just played bad. They got 4 guys who are really skilled. Yeah.
Hal, Condon, Jimmy Lou, and then they got Handlocked and back. So it's tough team to deal with.
If Alex Condon could stub his toe, nothing bad, just a stub toe, and just a stub toe for this coming week in Nashville, I think that'd be a good thing. That was my biggest question mark with this team at this point. Is we have seen toughness in spurts. We've seen toughness at times.
Seen Cliff be really good at times. Right. Same thing with Grant Nelson. Just haven't put it all together other than the North Dakota game for Grant, which
I don't care about that. Yeah, that was in December up against in a Cracker Jack box arena. Well, this past weekend was in a Cracker Box arena.
against a team with only one decent player. But hey,
No.
Eagle staff had 51.
Oh, no,
the other
Notre
day.
Dame. Yeah. Eagle staff,
Eagle
not
staff.
Auburn.
Just Eagle staff.
I thought you were saying that about Auburn.
Oh, no.
Auburn just
Absolutely
one decent
not.
play. I was like, oh.
They just got Broom, and that's it.
That's a shot. That's an unnecessary shot. We can be fair. But they did it this past weekend. The boys said, "Oh, we're not tough. We're not strong. We're not," and they did it. They went into Auburn, where everybody's screaming, "Bleep you, bleep you, bleep you, bleep you!"
Throwing towels everywhere.
And Janai Broom, Chaney Johnson, Dylan Cardwell, like big old mother jokers, and out-toughed them. The rebounding margin. What was it on Wednesday? Against the Florida Gators? It was horrific. It was like 50-something to 35. It was awful. It was really, really awful. What did Alabama do on Saturday? 41-31. Got after the glass, beating up Auburn at their own game. I believe in overtime, having multiple. Yeah, there's my overtime. Let me see. Overtime. How many offensive? 5 offensive rebounds in the overtime period. 5. Said, not to be denied.
Basketball.
Exactly. That is the grit and determination that is going to take to get you to San Antonio, to win in San Antonio. It has to be a desperation every single possession. And I wonder. I mean, we've been talking about this 7-game stretch, and we've been talking about how, can you manage it? Can you get through it? How can you win it? I wonder if the lesson wasn't sunk in until the last day in this 7-game series, Hunter. Because the boys, this is crimson-colored glasses, Hunter, but to me, they looked like a team that has learned a lesson.
I feel like a coach definitely got on their tail, and rightfully so, especially Clifford Amore and Grant Nelson.
Rightfully so.
I wouldn't be surprised
They
if
played like doo-doo in some of these stretches. Keep going.
Oh, you're right.
I know this is our first show today, but if we go like this, that means you just keep going.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Preston Murphy went up to Cliff and said, "Look, big fella, I hyped you up on the internet. I made all these Clifford videos. I made all these memes. I was posting pictures of a cartoon dog. And I was hyping you up on social media."
Kid, Hunter? That show is
I did a little bit.
Okay,
I did. And there's books on it now. And there were books back then, and I read some of the books when I was a younger kid. But anyway, I think he sat Cliff down and said, "Look, man, I hyped you up, and I said that you were going to be one of the best big men in the country. I mean, heck, you averaged 3 blocks last year. That led the Big Ten. That was more than Zach Edey, for crying out loud. More than the National Player of the Year in Zach Edey, who now plays for the Grizzlies and was a lottery pick. But when you get this guy on campus and he's averaging like 7-7, 8-7, that's not what we want. That's not what we brought you in for. That's not what we paid $1 million for." And he probably was like, "Look, man, you're making me look like the biggest idiot in Tuscaloosa right now by the way you're playing, because I hyped you up thinking you're the second coming of Shaquille O'Neal, and you just haven't been that at all." Like, you have been pitiful for most of the year with the exception of 2 or 3 games. So please, for the love of God, step up and play like you're capable of playing.
Okay, pitiful is a little far. I got to push back on you a little bit, because I'm pretty sure he's like a top 10 offensive efficiency player in the country.
He is efficient, but for his $1 million or however much we paid him, $800,000, is it worth 8 points, 7 rebounds, 7.6 rebounds?
What I want is the defensive presence just a little bit more, and what I want is I don't really give a rip about the scoring.
I think he's averaging 1 block per game this year, which is insane considering he averaged 3 last year.
Coach talked about that this past week, saying that because he thinks it's due to pace. He thinks it's due to the Rutgers slow pace, walking it up and down the floor, allowed Cliff to be freer and to be more springy, more bouncy on the defensive side. He says, I think running up and down the floor at our pace has really maybe affected his bounce. 15, okay, 11. He goes back up. All right, what do I want to see? Rebounds. That's what I want to see. Give me your rebounds there. Give me that. Let's see. I want date and rebounds. How many times are we over 10, Cliff? No, we'll go over 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games this year, 8 or more rebounds.
That's not bad.
Okay,
not bad.
Come on. We got to frame you a little better context.
Not bad. I wouldn't say pitiful, but underwhelming, sure. I wouldn't go with underwhelming.
There we go. There we go. I think that's a
not pitiful, but underwhelming.
I think we drug you to a much more fair place right there.
But I feel like Preston Murphy didn't say underwhelming. I feel like he had to stay pitiful. He just to send a message like, hey, man, like, please, I know you're capable of playing better than that. Please show us that you're worth the money that we invested in, that you are one of the best big men in the country and the best big man in the portal last year. Because after all, you did have more blocks than Zach Edey. Like I said earlier, who was the player of the year, and that's something to stand on.
I'll go with you on. Oh, I wish the whole season. Oh, I wanted 5% more from Cliff. Oh, I wanted 5% more. Now, look, I don't really give a rip what happened in the season, Cliff. As long as we keep things clicking this week,
as long as you keep
the next couple of weeks,
right here,
the next couple of weeks are what matters. And I also wonder the 7-game stretch if Mark and Grant remembered how long it took last year, the run, and thought, man, these 7 games, I mean, we're going to give it our best, but we're playing for March.
As you should. No one should be worried about. I mean, I hate to say this,
I was a little.
Do you want to be worried about the regular season? I mean, do people really care what you do in the regular season? Not really, for the most part. It's kind of just water under the bridge when you get into March Madness, because people really want a national championship. You really want a Final Four banner.
March Madness.
That's really what you want at the end of the day. No one's really worried about a regular season SEC championship. I'll take a national championship over one single regular season championship. But another thing I saw was Grant Nelson was finally aggressive.
All right,
finally.
Well, I'm going to put your timeout on you real quick again. We'll get to Grant, absolutely, because there's a lot to get into with Grant. This seems like a good place to start firing up these phone calls, because we're right about 20 minutes in, and I know one of these phone calls is about Grant. So you can call at 205-462-7340, extension 800 on the voicemail line, and we will play them. You call the voicemails, we play them the next morning. Yeah, that's how it works, and here's how we do it.
It's Dax. Halftime. Iron Bowl. Grant Nelson. Roll Tide. What a...
All right. Yeah, that was. I didn't realize that the halftime, the Dax's halftime call was just about Grant. So give you context. Grant in the first half, 15 points, 5 of 9, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. He had made 2
threes.
Oh my gosh,
2 threes.
Homeboy, after we cried and moaned on Friday, looking for that clean word, cried and moaned on Friday over his 3-point shooting, goes 2 of 3 in the first half. Grant, if you're listening to this show, I know you are listening to this show based on your play. Well done.
I know somebody else listened to this show. Maybe Aiden Sherrill. Maybe.
Aiden, you listen as well? I know.
Didn't have a rebound. He had 7 Saturday afternoon. Good grief. Please keep playing like that.
You're a big old fella. You should be rebounding. It should be, what is it, vacuum cleaner. But Grant in the first half. We've been crying about Grant. Oh, he's this, he's that. He hadn't been playing up to snuff, and really he hasn't. But chin injury, wrist injury, shoulder this.
Nagging injuries all the time, it seems like. Can't stay healthy. But finally, like I've said, it seems like the tide is turning, pardon the pun, at the right time right now for Grant Nelson.
And how important was Grant last year to the run?
Vital, very important. We don't beat North Carolina without him.
No, and
no way. No ifs, ands, buts about it.
You look at the last month and a half, and it's been marking the misfit toys. Honestly, I mean, I love the guys, but it's been marking the misfit
Youngblood,
toys.
Marking Modi, marking whoever, really.
Right, whoever he can find, marking who's going to play Robin tonight. Grant, you are Robin. And that's disrespectful. You're not Robin. Who is a better partner? Who's a 1 and 1A? Like you're Robin. Robin is
Captain America, maybe. Captain Alabama.
Oh gosh, I don't. Okay, we can go wrestling. You can be a great. Oh, great, y'all can be DX. Right?
Yeah. Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
Mark Sears is definitely Shawn Michaels. Okay, Mark is Shawn.
Triple H.
He is the showstopper, the heartbreak kid. You know, he is everything. But you got to be the game, maybe. You got to be the game. You've got to be the cerebral assassin. You have to basically be the king of kings. You've got to tell everybody where the sun don't shine. And that's what made DX so special, is giving everybody the double chops. And
now you're seeing everybody do it. You're seeing Anthony Edwards on the bench doing this, which I don't hate at all.
Grant, you got to be the tag team partner. You got to be, I'm coming in here, not, hey, we're all watching Mark go perform from the back, and maybe he'll call one of us out here to come help tag in. No,
He's sitting up there with his feet kicked up, drinking water.
Well done, Grant, but you got to keep it going. You got to keep going. You got to continue.
Just like Cliff, Grant. Same trajectory.
Up. Absolutely. We'll keep going here on the voicemail line, 205-462-7340, extension 800.
Game. That was electric. I'm fired up. I can't believe what I've watched. It literally just happened 5 minutes ago. So sorry I could not be on with you guys today, but I'm listening. And, man, Mark Sears is the greatest basketball player in the University of Alabama's history. I don't want to hear anybody with any doubts at all after what he just did. Number one will be hanging in the rafters, as it should. This is his iconic moment. And, man, I'm so excited to watch the rest of this run. I'm so excited to see what we do in Nashville. And I'm so excited to see how this incredible career that Mark Sears has had will end.
I want more iconic moments, Joe, from Mark Sears. I want more buzzer beaters. Preferably one to get us to the Final Four.
Did you listen last week, Hunter?
I did a little bit, yes.
We had, and Roy's got a call on here, so I'm hopeful that he will address this because I didn't listen to it. Look, most of these voicemails I'm not listening to beforehand. We plan them live so we can get the right reaction here. Roy last week, and I hope you address this, Roy, basically used the Alabama phrase where legends are made and said Mark Sears is not a legend.
That's the most ignorant thing I've ever heard in my life.
Okay, that's fine. That was before Saturday. That's fine. Okay, I'll agree with you. Ignorant, not smart, not the right take there. But
even before Saturday,
we will leave you room for that. Okay, we'll leave you some room. Does Saturday not move a non-legend into legend status? A game-winning shot in overtime to beat the number one team in country in their
on
gym.
Senior night,
exactly. Does that not move?
And all those great seniors.
Let's just play the premise that Roy and Lake Gunnersville is right, not a legend. We know it's false, but we're playing the premise. Does Saturday not move a non-legend into legendary status? We go 9 points on the game. 9 points, 3 of 9. So, look, my man is not even really trying to assert himself on the game. 7 assists, facilitating to everybody else. Only 1 turnover, protecting the basketball. 40 minutes of directing traffic, only to drop the game winner at the end, left-hand runner.
And the thing is, I think Auburn built their game plan to stop Mark Sears and to say, hey, everybody else, if you beat us, so what? We'll tip your hat. Grant Nelson will tip your hat to Cliff Amore. But Mark Sears, you will not score 30 in this gym and come out here with a win. But it turned out that he was the one to make the game-winning shot, which is the funny part in all of it. But they said, no, Mark Sears, we're not going to give you any space. We're not going to give you any open looks. You're going to have to earn every point you get. And he damn sure did that.
Beautiful morning. Okay, let's keep going. Voicemail line, 205-462-7340. 205-462-7340. Extension 800. You can call the voicemail line like Dax did, and like that was Theo. I think we're going to get another call right here.
Hi.
Theo again, or Dax.
Was one of the best basketball games that I've ever seen in my life, dude. It was filled with so much hate. I mean, you had Chad, the geriatric Mazzara out here looking like somebody paid him to take Chris Youngblood out or something. And then we just kept responding. Oh, dude. Oh, there was so much emotion. Also, to everybody who called for the firing of Nate Oates, suck my big toe. I believe in Nate. He's my head coach. Roll Tide. Let's get all the way to the championship. I'm so excited for March. What a way to end the season. Let's just keep this momentum going. It was perfect. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, Dax. Roll Tide. Let's address Chad Baker-Mazar, should we, Joe?
We'll go piece by piece. But yes, piece by piece on his call. He had a lot in his call. First, how great of a basketball game was that?
10 out of 10. Game of the year. Not even close.
And
I can't believe.
ESPN, you are dumb.
Why
you are
did you go
so
to Chapel
dumb.
Hill?
You are.
Why?
Because blue blood, North Carolina, no, dude. Look. I
Must win. We gotta have it to get in the tournament, even though we're 1-11 against quad 1 teams. Get out of here.
I'm as big a
Get outta
sucker
here.
hunter for branding as anyone. I love the Texas brand. I love big box, big blue brands. Love it. And Carolina Duke, man. High school Joe would have been on his couch. Carolina Duke. We don't care what the records are, the pageantry. ESPN, you fumbled you fumbled massively.
Big time.
You fumbled a game that was a top 10 matchup that ended up in overtime.
Both
that was
games,
a
really.
two point ball game. Didn't Duke blow them out?
Yeah, they did. 82-69, 82-70. It wasn't a game the last 5 minutes.
So you absolutely
Took complete control.
fumbled and farted away great television in favor of tradition. So great. Awesome. All right. So next part. It was a great game. It was an unbelievable game. Next part, the emotion. He said, the emotions. You start with Chad, but there's like a billion places to go with the emotions. You can go Crimson Crane, Bruce Pearl. You can go Crimson Crane, Grant Nelson. You can go throw in the everywhere.
You can go Nate Oates, begging him on, but I like that.
Oh.
But we'll start with Chad Baker-Mazara because that dude needs to be addressed. We'll start with that clown. But I don't know how you can't get a flagrant. I don't know how that wasn't a flagrant when he swiped at Chris's face. Couldn't you make the excuse? He's going for the ball. He's going for the ball. Well, if the ball is bouncing right here in front of you, how do you miss the entire ball and not even get leather on the ball at all? How are you doing this and you just missed the ball and hit some dude's hand? I mean, hit some dude in the face. And his hands were clawed like this.
Scratch his eye open.
Exactly.
Hey, man, well, first thing.
Like, that's such a terrible excuse.
Let's trim our fingernails, guys. Let's keep our fingernails trimmed, fellas. Well-groomed, well-manicured fingernails. You know, the ladies like it nice and pretty and painted. Guys, fingernail clippers. We don't need to be scratching people's eyes out.
Exactly. I guess he thought UFC 313 was right there in the city of Auburn. I'm not sure. But that's what it looked like he needed to be doing other than playing basketball. Maybe he can do that now that his season's going to be over in a month.
All right, so Baker-Mazara gets knocked out of the game or gets kicked out of the game because he elbowed Chris Youngblood in the back of the head. And
what are your thoughts on the scratch, though? Did you think it deserved a flagrant?
I got to be honest with you. That's part of the game that I did not see during my. By the time I got it on, Chris already had a big old Band-Aid over his face.
Yeah.
So
that's what it was from, but
I thought you saw the post-game picture where
he was bleeding,
with the blood.
Yeah,
now I gotta ask you,
that was cool.
Do you think that was CGI?
I want to say no, but I think so. My heart wants to say no because that looks so freaking cool.
It was perfect.
It was awesome.
The little blood trickle coming out of the eye, like
like a warrior. Exactly. Like he just went to war.
Now maybe it was real. Absolutely could have been real, but the photo looked too good. So well done. Hey, if it's real, you're a beast, Chris Youngblood. If it's fake, well done, Alabama social team, because it did look good. So I didn't see that part, but what I saw. So I went back and watched some of it and then kind of got distracted. People are saying Baker-Mazara, the elbow was retaliation. In the first couple of minutes of the game, look, we have crimson colored glasses on, but we will be honest when we can. Okay, in the first couple of minutes of the game, Youngblood does give him a shot in the back as they're kind of switching on the defensive end.
And I believe he hit him again in the midsection, but he was trying to contest a shot and Chad 6'7", he's way up here, and Chris is way down here at 6'3", 6'4". So.
Right. Look.
Give him a pass for that. Like, it wasn't anything malicious, wasn't anything intentional. That doesn't give you the right to just go.
No, I'm not going to give you a
rebound
pass.
When the ball's.
I'm not going to give Youngblood a pass, but I am going to say for Baker-Mazara to go berserker mode and say this is all retaliation.
Costing your team that. Costing your team.
If you're retaliating, somebody hits me, I'm going right to you immediately. And maybe that is my own foolishness that I'm just going to go right to you, right after you, right into your face. But Baker-Mazara, let's play go, and then comes back and I'm going to get you when you're not looking. No, man.
Cheap shot.
if you cheap shot me, I'm going to let everybody in the arena know that you cheap shotted me because I am going to go pit bull right back in your face. Now it might get me an uppercut on the way in. It might, and that might be my bad, and I might be knocked out on the floor. But everybody's going to know right then and there that I've got a problem with you. That you just cheap shot. You just messed me up. I've got a problem with you. I'm not waiting. It's the waiting. It's the I'm going to pick my spot here. I'm going to pick my spot in. Ka-chow! Right in the back of the head. Like, I don't have any problem with players playing with emotion. You got a lot of people going online lately over the last 3 days. Oh, Tyler Baker-Mazara, blah, blah, blah. He's terrible. He needs to. I don't really eat.
I don't like him.
I want a player like that on my team. I do. But I want you to.
I just don't want him to cost me a chance at winning a championship or winning a big game because I fear that he's going to do that in the tournament. He did that last year, and we saw it happen. He let the same thing happen. He let a dude on one end hit him in the back of the head, and then they're running back down the court, and he said, "Oh, I remember what happened. I remember what happened last time. Bow, right in the back of the head, thrown out. They lose the game to Yale. Season's over, and if you have him, you probably don't lose the Yale at all. So,
and honestly,
it cost you that game. And that's the reason why. Honestly, why y'all lost?
Yes, Auburn more than likely wins that game if Baker-Mazara stays in the game.
There's no way that kid, I forget his name. There's no way he makes 6-7 threes if he's defending him.
Oh yeah. So you got the Baker-Mazara incident. You have let's go. The officials were not good.
As far as very inconsistent
controlling because
seems like we're saying that all the time though about the officials. Oh, they're inconsistent.
Awful,
they're not that good.
Awful.
It seems like it's that way all the time.
You've got the Grant Nelson dunk, and he goes Crimson Crane mode. Bruce Pearl lost his mind. Oh, and everybody, the kids in the background, like technical. I would have been doing the same thing if I were an Auburn fan. Let's just be honest with you. I would have been doing the same thing, asking for a technical foul. What was so hilarious to me was listening to the Auburn radio network. No, is that not a technical foul?
Are they going to review this? And they might call it flagrant. They might call it flagrant on Cardwell.
That's taunting. Oh, that's taunting. And they're losing their minds. Oh,
how is that not taunting? How is that not taunting?
That's entertaining all in and of itself. I told my dad as we were leaving the funeral, as he was driving back, I said, "You got Chris Stewart on one right because he's not an Alabama fan. He just wants to be entertained." I said, "You got Chris Stewart on one side, or you can listen to the Auburn radio network." And I had not even listened to them yet. I'm at a funeral. We're leaving, and I said, "Or you can listen to the Auburn radio network and listen to them complain about the officials the whole second half." I didn't even know what was going on. I just that is part of the broadcast.
That's what they do.
It's baked in.
They're different down there on the plains, man. Let's complain about the officials. Let's complain about them getting away with everything. Let's complain with them making tough shots. Let's just complain all the time, I guess.
We'll keep going on the voicemail line, 205-462-7340. Wait, was there one more piece of that? There was the how good the game was, Dax's call. How good the game was, the emotions, Chad Baker-Mazara. You want to hit Bruce Pearl? Oh, my. I want your thoughts on this. You're a young guy. You were in school when John Mechie hit the Crimson Crane.
And I loved it. Loved every minute of it. We have every right to hit that. That's our celebration, Bruce. That is not yours. That's not yours.
Bruce goes to the official and goes, "Oh, you're mimicking." That's ours. That's our celebration.
No, it's not. No, it is not. That's been ours since 2020, 2021. Since John Mechie scored the game-winning touchdown on you guys and did this in front of Jabari Smith, and y'all thought it was a good idea to do it right back. Doesn't make it yours. It does not.
All the Auburn basketball team did it here in Coleman Coliseum. To the victor go the spoils. The Auburn won and celebrated.
I don't have a problem with it, but it's not a technical. If anything, this should be a technical. This has been unsportsmanlike since the beginning of.
Tell the podcast people what you did because they can't see you.
Right here, call God.
There you go.
Guys,
yeah.
Call God.
Holding the phone.
God.
Yeah, mimicking the phone call.
This used to be unsportsmanlike too. If you remember. Back in the day, I remember the first Saban rant. Yeah, Tim Tebow and John Parker Wilson did that. I was getting to that because the first time I ever saw Saban choose someone out was I think 2008. We went to LSU and he scored a touchdown.
JP Dub.
Yeah, he started scoring. I think it made it 7-0. I'm pretty sure he does this. 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct, number 14 on the offense. Penalty to be assessed on the following kickoff. Yada yada yada. And now they're doing this all the time. and there's no repercussion, there's no punishment, there's no technical foul, there's no anything. So
Well,
if you're gonna,
we're spending a positive message, Hunter. Call God.
But let's pray like this. Like, have you ever heard in church, like, hey, call God, Joe? Ever in your life? Ever?
Not in the sense that they're using it, not in the way that they're using it, but
it's like they're spinning it a little bit, like, yeah, call God, but we're going to troll you at the same time.
Exactly. It's not a call God because we're praising God because we're so good and we won.
Call God because you're in trouble.
Right. Call God to complain. Like, call God to complain about us. We're not going to listen to you. We're not going to, you can say you're too mean
God,
or
save us.
Right. Exactly. It's a pity. It's used as a taunt. Okay, that's a choice.
It's used as a satire.
Right. I'm not really going to be invoking God in my taunt. I don't really think.
Yeah.
Last piece of the sportsman, like,
God didn't answer Saturday.
You throw in the towels.
That too.
I mean,
grow up.
Mark gets his little runner. Everybody runs into the corner and celebrates, and
As
all the Auburn students throw in the. I mean, okay, could have been worse. Could have been something real, something
like a beer bottle or a water bottle,
troublesome. But it's a bunch of the towels that they gave out just started raining down. Please do not throw things on the playing surface.
And Bruce Pearl said, "Don't throw stuff on the court. Don't throw anything." Because that could be a fine too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yes, it can. Yes, for sure. We'll keep going. We got, two more voicemails on the voicemail line, 205-462-7340, extension 800.
Roy, Lake Gunville here. I had a thought watching that game. I thought, what if Nate Oates is so inspired by the NBA game that he actually just doesn't care about defenses in a lot of games? He just really don't care. I know the fans care. I know you care, Joe. But what if he sees it as, hey, it's a long season. These boys only got 2 legs, and I need them for shooting. And he just plans to outshoot anybody in the gym. But then when it comes to playing the number 1 team on the road, he tells them to lock in. He tells them it's time today to put in effort on both sides. What if it can be coached? What if it can be turned on and turned off? Well, we saw it turned on today. I mean, they were playing good defense. Even those mid-range shots them Auburn boys was taking, they were not good shots. They were well covered. So I give my props for that and maybe a little hope for the future of this season. That said, Mason, you got triggered by my comment about Mark Sears. Well, let me tell you, I left you a 2-minute voicemail. You should have talked about a lot more than just what I said about Mark Sears. But today, you win. Going out number 1 team on the road, mid-range shot for the win. Ooh, that was the stuff of legends. The only problem is it wasn't in Coleman Coliseum, but it might have even been more impressive that way. Roy, they got good.
Oh, Roy, they're gonna
going at Mason like that, man. Roy.
Well, it's because Roy called last week, and that was he said Mark maybe not a legend, and Mason lost his mind. We're gonna get Mason. Mason, you'll get a chance to respond to Roy tomorrow. But Hunter, you want to take Roy's call? What is he suggesting that Nate Oates is gaming the system defensively?
That he doesn't care about defense in the regular season, which I highly doubt that. In fact, I don't believe any of that at all, because what's the old saying goes, Joe? It's defense wins championships. So you're going to have to play elite defense if you want to win said championship in April in San Antonio.
Right, but he's saying, I'll let you keep going. He's saying that Nate Oates is maybe suggesting that they save the defense till postseason.
I don't think that's the truth at all. I think they just ran into really good, talented teams. I mean, Florida is one of the best offensive teams in the country. Missouri's right up there when they want to be. Kentucky's really good when they want to be as well, when they're at full health. Obviously, they hadn't been like that in a couple weeks. Now it looks like they're getting back to it, but they definitely aren't just turning it on and turning it off. I think there's just some instances where, it's hard to play defense when you're standing 6 feet away in the paint. When someone sets a ball screen and you just leave a really good shooter wide open, that's not a good recipe for success at all. And then when you're getting bodied in the paint, that's also not a good recipe for success when you're trying to play defense and rebound the basketball. So maybe if you play more physical, you play tougher, and you play more aggressive like you did on Saturday in all 3 of those aspects, then you're probably going to play better defense and you're probably going to end up winning the game, and that's exactly what happened. It's really as simple as that.
Simple as that, Roy. Simple as that. Mid-range mark.
Mid-range.
I gotta say, we gotta make that stick. Mid-range mark.
He did take another mid-range, falling away.
Yeah,
out of bounds and made it.
Where's my game tracker? Because I got the shot charts on here. I like to look at the shot chart just to see where they all fell. Right there, GameCast. Because let's see, I'm pretty positive. I mean, Auburn was horrific in the mid-range. Let's see. Here we go. Show filters. How would we describe this? Alabama. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 mid-range shots. I'm not counting that one right there. I'm counting one right outside the free throw line. That's Mark's game winner. I'm counting one outside the paint. Are each of these labeled? Yeah. Oh, they're labeled. Mark Sears made jumper. Mark Sears made jumper.
All about Mark Sears.
Chris Youngblood made jumper, and Grant Nelson made jumper. Those are my 4 mid-range shots that I'm counting. Now, how many missed mid-range? Ooh, 3 missed mid-ranges. Mark Sears missed 1, 2, and Youngblood missed 1. So Mark is 2 for. I have him 2 for 4 from the midi, and I have Youngblood 1 for 2, and I have Grant 1 for 1. Now, you Auburn Tigers, y'all shot so inefficiently. Y'all shot so inefficient. How many of these mid-range misses? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Too many mid-ranges.
I mean,
good night.
And Janai tried to take.
That was a terrible shot, by the way.
That would have broken my I would have crashed on the Atlanta highway if Janai Brew.
I would have thrown my TV outside my window and broke both of them.
Yes,
if he would have made that.
Hey, into the game, they throw the ball down on the post. If you didn't see it, down on the post, and it's dribble, and Janai
back him down. 2, 1,
tries to hit a 15-foot fadeaway, fall away. Is that on here as well? It's got to be here. Yeah, Janai Broom missed jumper. Just awful final possession. We want to talk about Alabama's final half possession. That one was just as bad.
I think that might have been worse.
If you were an Auburn fan,
I'm surprised Bruce Pro didn't call a timeout. Figure something up better than that.
He's the best player in the country. You want to leave it in his hands?
I mean, I agree, yes, but I would get something better than that. A fall-away jumper from, 15 feet out along the baseline, that's not his game at all. I mean, he's made one, I'm sure, like that before, but you can do way better than that.
Janai just wanted to get his Dirk Nowitzki.
He just wanted his moment. He just wanted his March moment.
Absolutely.
Got it taken away against Yale. He's trying to make up for it now.
One more voicemail, and I think we're done. 205-462-7340, extension 800.
My friends, what a great day. I owe an apology to Grant Nelson. He wasn't Mr. Clumsy Clit Saturday. He played his heart out. He hustled. What a great game. I'm shocked. I thought they would get beat, but, man, it was just so great. I just loved the first half when Grant Nelson he probably should have got a foul, but he did the crane. Auburn went ballistic. Pearl was going ballistic, and I'm thinking, it's all right, Fatso, for you and your players to do that. But an Alabama player does it. You want a technical. In your face, Auburn. It was a great game. Great. Maybe this ignites a fire for the SEC tournament. And if they win it, I believe they can get back to a number 1 seed. But anyway, I'm so glad to be wrong about Nelson. At least for one day, he wasn't Mr. Klutz. He was Mr. Clutch. Have a good day, guys.
Someone's got to get into his head and
That's
say,
Robert from Brookwood. Keep going.
Listen, Grant, if you play like that, you and Cliff, both of y'all, if y'all play like that, we can beat anybody in the country. Exactly.
Ring me. Do the Aaron Donald. You play like that, you can be pointing at that at that ring.
Or the Joe Burrow.
Okay, there you go. There we go. Let's tell everybody about our friends, Derek Daniel at State Farm. We are live in the Derek Daniel State Farm studios talking about this Alabama basketball victory over the Auburn Tigers. You can call Derek and his team at 205-758-3391 for all your insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, Derek and his team are there. They'd love to talk to you today. Red, Reese, and Victoria, they're upstairs waiting on your call. 205-758-3391. It's wet outside, so you want to make sure that you have proper car insurance because it's going to be nuts in Tuscaloosa today on the roads. Call them for all your car insurance needs, 205-758-3391. Call and see how much Derek can save you today. As we continue on, and we want to also thank Warren Tire and Auto Center. Look, we said it was wet outside. You want to make sure that your car has the proper tires. Don't go out there on some bald tires. Call Warren Tire and Auto Center right now. They've been a Tuscaloosa and University of Alabama staple since 1961. Hunter and his family have been taking their cars there forever. His parents living in Tuscaloosa. They've been using Warren Tire and Auto Center since 1961. They're in their 3rd generation of family ownership. Shout out to you, Russ Warren, for keeping that bad boy going. Warren Tires, the go-to place for all your automotive needs. They got 2 locations, tires, brakes, and alignments on 15th Street, 205-759-5505. They do it this way for efficiency. Tires, brakes, and alignment on 15th Street. All other automotive needs over there on University Boulevard. Electrical, engine work, oil change. You need something simple just like that. Go to University Boulevard. Call them at 205-758-2739. They are the go-to place for your automotive needs here in Tuscaloosa. Reputable. God, that's the hardest thing to find when you're dealing with auto mechanic, auto work, really anywhere. But Warren Tire is reputable, and they stand by. They're going to do great work. Call them today on 15th Street, 205-759-5505, or on University Boulevard, 205-758-2739. Oh, my gosh, Hunter. We've taken all our voicemails. And we're working our way through this ball game. Obviously, the celebration is there, and we want to keep it going. But I want to ask you, Hunter, does Saturday's performance, because here's where I was as I set this up context. I thought, okay, you go to Atlanta and you just, or Nashville. Thank you. You go to Nashville,
Bridgestone.
And I mean, you think back to last year, you're one and done last year. You get back to Coleman Coliseum and you rest up for a whole week before you travel out. And so going into Saturday's game, I was thinking, okay, you just take it on the chin here in Auburn, then you go to Nashville and try to not make it too ugly, and
As the script flipped a little bit.
Right, see what seed you get. That's the question I want to ask you. Does Saturday's performance change your expectation or change your outlook for the SEC tournament?
I think so, because I didn't even really have any expectations coming into this game, to be honest with you. Like I said, matchups, work with that, experiment with some rotations, experiment with something new offensively or defensively, whatever you want to do. But now that you've won this game and that you've proven to not only yourselves, but everybody in this fan base that, hey, if we play like this, if we play like we're capable of playing, and if Grant Nelson can keep being aggressive and Cliff can keep being a beast on the boards and play defense to the same extent that you played on Saturday, you can definitely win this SEC tournament. Florida's going to be a tough team to beat, but like I said, if you continue to play with this energy and this effort, then you can beat anyone in the country. And I mean, I think that's not outlandish to say at all.
No, I don't think it's outlandish to say.
Including Duke, including Houston, St. John's.
When we think about this SEC, is this SEC tournament, SEC, the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog, does this SEC tournament, will this SEC tournament be more entertaining than the national tournament, just better the quality?
I think it'll be way better teams, that's for sure. And I think it will be a little bit better. But I think just the hype with March Madness, the hype with all these teams in there at 64 compared to 16 in the SEC tournament, I think there's more energy and there's more hype around that than there is with the SEC tournament.
Will you have 4 better teams? Will the final 4 teams in the SEC on Saturday, on semifinal Saturday in Bridgestone, will they be a better 4 teams than the final 4 teams in San Antonio?
There's definitely a chance. I think there's
definitely a chance.
Definitely
it's yes or no?
Chance. Yes. I think yes. Just the way March Madness goes every year, there's always some fluky 10 seed or 8 seed, 9 seed that makes it to the Final Four, like NC State did last year and FAU the year before.
Oh, my gosh.
But
fired their coach already.
Already?
Did you see that? No, they fired the coach that took them to the Final Four last year. They fired him this weekend.
College athletics, man.
They fired him this weekend. They paid him $7.5 million to go away to buy him out.
After you make the Final Four the year before, and you lose DJ Burns and you lose all those guys that got you there, like, what do you expect, man?
And
I get the ACC's not good, but what do you expect?
What do you expect? His NIL budget this past year, $2 million.
No wonder.
$2 million.
That's probably why they're what?
Right.
14 and
2 million, maybe $2 million. Go have fun competing in the ACC, guys. Like, that's not going to work.
That's not going to work at all. When you're competing with Duke, North Carolina, Clemson's turned it on here of late. They're really good this year. Louisville's finally good again.
Cooper Flack himself got himself $2 million. I'm like, that's your payroll is not even.
And then Cliff got at least $1 million.
Right. Your payroll does not touch. Let's see what y'all ended up doing. They were 12-19. They were 5-15 in the ACC this year. They were third to last. Third to last. So not good.
Rebuilding year.
Yeah, rebuilding, but you don't give it like, hello, you're not going to give the guy any the tools to compete. I'm sorry, like you can talk about, hey, we don't like college athletics going to money, but like if you're only going to give an ACC team $2 million to compete with the other ACC team,
can't expect them to win 20 games, 23 games, 25 games.
You'd rather spend $7.5 million to get rid of this guy and go hire someone else instead. Like, I'm sorry, my 8th grade math brain says this doesn't make sense. You'd rather spend $7.5 million to say goodbye.
Mine says the same thing.
And whatever money that you're paying to hire the new guy at $3 million a year, whatever the case may be.
So you're paying $10 million,
right?
Dollars
at least, instead of, hey, well, you know what? You got us to a Final Four. Let's put some of this money, that $2 million. Not a good year this year. Yeah,
put it on a guy entering the transfer portal.
What?
Maybe we can get a Big Z from Arkansas. Maybe we can get someone from Michigan like Danny Wolf, who's a skilled big man.
It doesn't make any sense to me. You could spend less money, keep the coach who got you to a Final Four, utilize it on talent, and say, hey, man, what if we give you a little more talent next year? See if you can do a little better than 5 and 15, huh?
Seems like a deal to me, but apparently to the AD and the support staff at NC State, I guess not. I guess it's too much to ask for.
Money is not real to these people. It's fake to these people, Hunter. I'm sorry. To me, everything is about. Maybe I'm showing my rear end, but to me, everything is about money, and it seems like money is fake to.
You're
people.
the coach at NC State. The heck am I going to do with $2 million?
Right.
Like, help me out here. What am I supposed to do with $2 million in an era where you have to pay people to come play for you?
What's that? Roughly, let's see, 1, 2, 3,
13 scholarship
1, 2,
guys
3, divided by 13 runs you at oh my gosh, on my decimal 640 runs you at about $154,000 a player if you're giving everybody equal.
That's pennies on the dollar as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
if you want someone really good and elite, that's pennies on the dollar for them.
150 is hooey for a real college program. I'm sorry, that is a bad price. I don't know what the Alabama players are making, but it would shock me.
Mark's making a lot. Cliff's making a lot. Grant's probably making a lot.
The number I heard last summer for Mark was 800. So
I heard that too. Yeah.
Now that could be total. Just want to make
that could be pie in the sky.
Right. I just want to make that clear. That is not. I'm not reporting that. That is just a whisper that I heard. Point being, as a whole lot more than $150K that these kids at NC State, I guess, were getting.
What do you think Maxwell Skarnowski's making? What do you think
Max Chernowski, I have no idea, but I would guess Max Chernowski, I have no idea.
6 figures.
I would guess that he's making.
Is he getting anything at all? Is he just having a good time over there?
Well, that's the biggest part. My guess as went from 100 and something in my head, I think that's probably a total guess 45.
45K.
Shoot, 45K. Hang out and practice.
Yeah.
Roll Tide. That's a total guess.
To do this on the sideline.
Well, he plays some.
He does play. I don't remember the last game he's played in. Probably Mississippi State, I would think, when we blew them out like 111 to 80 something.
Yeah. All right, Hunter. We're here in the Derek Daniels State Farm Studios. We've been BSing about basketball for quite some time. Before we leave, get your opinion on spring football in this sense. Mason and I have not gotten excited about spring football. Oh shit, you're giving it away.
Sorry. I'll let you finish.
I'm just teasing you. I
jumped the gun a little bit on that one.
I was going to ask you, are we out of line? Or, what's the excitement level in Tuscaloosa to a native Tuscaloosan, born and bred in Tuscaloosa? Are you excited about? Is there something to be excited about for spring football?
When I was growing up, spring practice, the 8A game, that was like the dawn of the new season. That was something to go to, and then you're getting excited for all the players playing in the game, whether it be Julio Jones, Trent Richardson, Courtney Upshaw. Let's see, Eddie Lacy was really good.
You're giving your age away too. Keep going.
Yeah. I am kind of old, getting up there in age. But then you got guys like Tua come in, Tua, and then he balls out. And it's just something to be excited about. Whoever is, that's the MVP of the 8A game, if you will. It's like, okay, I can't wait to watch that guy play this year. I'm excited for him. And now it's just kind of watered down. It's not the same. It's kind of lost all of its luster and all of its excitement. It's more of just kind of like a PR stunt at this point. Let's throw guys out there. Let's see what we got. Let's play a glorified scrimmage, and let's not give anything away that we're going to do in the fall. And let's have a good time, and let's eat steak and potatoes after the game for the winners and losers, and let's call it a day. But now this year, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm not sure if we're going to have a real game like we used to. I'm not sure if we're going to do some modified spring game where we're just out there in shorts and it's flag football. I wouldn't mind seeing, I think I called in on this, seeing a coaches versus players flag football game. I think that'd be pretty cool to see. Maybe see Kalen DeBoer play quarterback. I don't know what he played in college.
He's a wide receiver.
Wide receiver, okay. Wide receiver. You can play wide receiver. You can have Sheridan play quarterback or Grubb or somebody like that. You can have Linguist running back, and Jamarcus Shepard can play wide receiver as well. But it just doesn't seem the same as it used to be anymore when I was younger, and it's kind of disappointing, but it's the age and it's the world we live in right now in college athletics where no one really cares about the guy who makes the point, oh, I can't see the team. I can't see the team during the season because I don't have the money. Those days are long gone, and I don't really think they cared back then as much, but they definitely don't care now, that's for sure.
Well, I was told, Hunter, that it's my job to generate excitement. I was told we got to sell the hope. We got to sell the future. I was told you got to no, not by Chris, just by other people, just by people in my. You gotta get the people excited. All right, so if that were my job, what would be? I mean, the quarterback is so low hanging fruit. The fruit is on the ground. It's not even hanging. I don't want to pick the quarterback battle fruit because it is on the ground that anyone can pick it.
A lot of guys with a lot of promise, but like I said, no one's proven anything.
my point is like it is such an easy topic to go to. What's exciting about Alabama football? Who's going to play quarterback? And I'm of the opinion that the battle is not as much of a battle as we were kind of led to believe. Now that could be total hooey at the when fall starts, but I think that Ty Simpson kind of has the job on lock or a little bit to lose.
I agree.
And so because of that, I'm not going to, well, what if Billy Smith has a good day at quarterback this day? Can they get Ty Simpson? I just don't want to put the names out like. So besides the quarterback, Hunter, what would you sell? What do we sell? What's interesting? You got to me?
I'd say wide receivers.
Why?
Wide receivers.
Why? You have Ryan and Jeremy. Your best two players are back.
I know, but it was only them two last year, and that's it. We didn't really have a third guy. We didn't have a third option. Let's see how good Isaiah Horton's going to be. Let's see if he's going to be all the hype that people talked about. Let's see if he's going to be the same guy that he was in Miami with Cam Ward. Was he just a byproduct of how good Cam Ward was, or is he actually an elite wide receiver who can get open and create some space and make some few good plays, make a really cool catch here and there? But like I said, is he just a byproduct of a Cam Ward, or is he actually the real deal? Is he actually one of the best receivers in the portal, like we were led to believe? Because it seems like everybody we get is the best player at X position. It seems like they're all 5 stars, and they come here and they're duds for the most part.
Jimmy Gibbs wasn't a players. Well, it wasn't dud.
Or Jamison Williams. But
yeah, they're not duds.
Anybody else? Tyler Harrell, dud.
Was Henry To'oTo'o a dud?
He was pretty good.
Tyler Harrell was definitely a dud.
Tyler Harrell was a dud. Let's see.
What do you think about this Dreeland Washington fella? Transfer.
He seems like he's got promise, but really crowded running back room. I'm more interested. Who's going to kick now? That's another thing. Who's going to be our kicker? Connor Talty. I need Will Rockert back, Joe.
Well, homeboy didn't move on.
I miss Will.
Graham
Nicholson.
He's still with us, right?
He's gone.
Did I miss that?
Not?
I might have totally missed that.
I think Bim and Burnham are gone, if I'm not mistaken, because he was a transfer from Miami, Ohio.
No, he's still
on here. Okay.
Red shirt. I think he might. Hold on.
Screw it. He definitely has another year of eligibility.
Well, they all do. They all do. But I can find out. I can find out right now. I can find out real quick before we go. Football roster. Football roster. Because I'm losing my brain here as we get to the end. It's daylight savings. How did daylight savings treat you, Hunter?
It was rough.
Are you
fell asleep at 2?
Are you for the daylight savings?
I'm for daylight savings. Yes. Do not go back to standard time, please.
Graham Nicholson is gone. Graham Nicholson is definitely
He is gone. Okay, that's what I thought.
Come on. Bad Joe. Graham Nicholson, adios amigo. Hope you have a great career.
You had enjoyed your 1 year at the Capstone. Hope the money was worth it.
I'm sure it was.
For sure.
What else you got for us, Hunter? Before we get out of here, we're gonna have Mason back on tomorrow. Mason will be back, and I will replay Roy from Lake Gunnerville's call so Mason can appropriately respond. Anything you got on your brain here, Hunter, before we say goodbye?
Alabama baseball drops the first game of the year, but hey, the last team to go 16-0, they lost to Presbyterian. They lost the series finale, 11-8. Very disappointing it was because me and Will Miller, we were texting in the middle of the game like, this team they kind of suck. I mean, not trying to be hateful, but this team's not that good. And what happens?
Presbyterian, not Alabama.
Presbyterian, not really good, not that good of an opponent, but they come back. We were up 4-0. They come back and beat us. And it's kind of like, oh, man, pitching. Whew.
You're a baseball guy, though.
Some problems.
You're a baseball guy, though. What's this team's feeling? What is this team worth investing in, or is it just another 9th place team in the SEC that's having a good opening to the year?
Right now, I would invest in them, but we're going to find out how good they are. Next weekend, we'll find out how good they are when they go to College Station and take on the Texas A&M Aggies, who was supposed to be the best team in the country this year. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it's coaching, I don't know if it's players, I don't know what the deal is, but they have been terrible. They've underperformed this year. And then you got Tennessee the week after that. So we'll find out in these 2 weeks, Joe, how good this team is, if they're contenders or if they're just pretenders.
Where do you rank Tony Vitello on list of coaches you don't like? Or do you like Vitello? Do you like him? You're a baseball guy. Do you like Vitello?
I like him as a coach, but he's definitely kind of a bad person off the field. Kind of arrogant, kind of cocky, but that's kind of what comes with being a really good coach. And when you win a national championship, I guess you can act like that. You can really act however you want to. So I don't really have a problem with him as a coach. I wouldn't mind if he was our coach, to be honest with you. But
he drives me crazy.
That's just high praise.
He drives me crazy because he's crazy.
He is crazy. But so is Dan Hurley. Who's more insufferable, Vitello or Dan Hurley?
Oh man. That's a great question. Vitello to me, just because of the Tennessee factor.
Yeah,
and it's closer to home. But Dan Hurley drives me nuts because he plays the victim so much. He wants to yell and scream, but then he plays the victim on the other side so much, and it's like, oh yeah. You pick a lane, pick the tough guy lane, or pick the victim lane.
And then he'll say stuff like they'll go 0-3 in Maui and say like, we're done with this. We're done with these multiple team events. I've had it with this. You know what? I'm sick and tired of it. And then he's like, yeah, the refs cost us this game. The refs. Like, shut up, dude.
I'm not a big
Take some ownership for once. You're a 2-time champion.
I like Hurley, but then sometimes he does things like that just drives me absolutely
nuts. Did you see what his brother did at Arizona State, waving the players off? Don't shake hands with the other team. I think they were playing Arizona.
Yeah,
I get it, rivalry game, but
didn't they agree on that before the game started?
They might have.
I think they agreed on that before the game started. That the heat was too much.
I thought that was just him being spontaneous and saying, "Go back to the locker room. F these guys."
Hunter, it's Monday. So, big Monday Night Raw tonight. You into wrestling?
A little bit, yeah. Casual fan, but
Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Steel Cage tonight.
Main event,
Monday Night Raw, Netflix.
Might have to tune in on it.
You're going to get Netflix about 7 o'clock, so about 8:25 or so, you'll get that Steel Cage match going on the Netflix. We're going to get out of here for the day unless you got more on the baseball.
Justin LeBron, best player in the game. Invest in him. If you're not going to invest in the team, at least pay attention and give some love to Justin LeBron.
Now, he is not draft eligible, right? Because he's a sophomore.
Not. He's a sophomore this year. So we'll have another year of Justin LeBron. But get to the games and see him while you can, folks.
Buy your Justin LeBron jerseys right now so that his junior year, he knows how much he's loved. And so that when he's getting that number 1, number 3, number 4 draft pick, whatever.
Hopefully number 1.
He thinks, man, I'll come back to Tuscaloosa for a senior. He won't.
Pull a Peyton Manning.
He won't.
I'm back.
Oh, man, we'll get out of here for the day. We're going to get ready for Monday Night Raw. The football team is off this week. That's why the football was light. Football will be on spring break this week. All the boys are down with Theo, checking out the honeys in Panama. They'll be back next week with Theo He's going to make sure they're all behaving. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow. We'll start setting up the SEC tournament with Mason Woods. We'll get him to react to Roy from Lake Gunnersville. We will get Mason's reaction to the basketball game. We will start setting up the SEC tournament. Do you like Alabama's draw? I do.
Kentucky first game. If they win, assuming it goes chalk, Kentucky. I think
Right, but I'm looking at Saturday.
Florida might be L.
Might be an early weekend coming back to Tuscaloosa with the Florida Gators.
Winner gets the 1 seed, so you got more to play for right there.
Absolutely.
Winner gets the 1 seed, the last 1 seed.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll get into it tomorrow with Mason Woods. Hunter Brantley, you follow Hunter at Hunter Brantley 8. Thanks so much for your time, Hunter. Tell the people hello and goodbye.
Hello, goodbye.
Anything else you want to say to him before you say goodbye?
Roll Tide.
All right. We'll talk to you again tomorrow right here on the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral and BamaCentral.